There is one thing, in my opinion, that greatly shows off the difference between a good player and a great player in Destiny. One thing that will consistently be reflected in your scoreboards, your kill streaks, and in your win rates in one-on-one duels. The one thing, that one factor that I'm referring to is your primary gun skill. Destiny is most certainly a game that's defined by, arcadey space abilities and special weapons that kill quickly in, one way or another, and a game that allows for creative and quirky build potential, sure. But no matter what your quirk is or what your, ability-centric build is, primary gun skill, in my opinion, will always reign supreme as the most important part of your game. Now, this isn't to diminish one's skill with a sniper rifle. I can certainly respect a really good sniper. It's not to diminish one's skill with a shotgun or a fusion rifle. It isn't even to diminish one's ability to manage their cooldowns and throw grenades accurately, right? But at the upper end of the skill gap, the ability to consistently leverage your primary weapon is the one thing that makes or breaks a match, in my opinion. I didn't lose too many matches last week when Trials was up. I had a pretty good weekend, but the ones I did lose were almost exclusively, there was one that wasn't, but they were almost exclusively because I encountered a team that out-primaried me and my team. I remember one in particular, one team, they had 3 palindromes, and they consistently placed great shots on us to control all the engagements. They beat us 5-1, and with almost only primary kills, mind you. I mean, sure they bagged, sure they were obnoxious, but they were undeniably the better Trials team. And this can be said for a lot of players that have put me in my place over the years. I used to do, some of you guys might actually remember this if you've been around my stream for any considerable amount of time, but I used to do these 1v1 streams where I would accept any challengers for, I'd do 8 hours of 1v1s in a row, 8 straight hours of 1v1s against challengers, hours and hours at a time, and they were a ton of fun. Honestly, my win rate was really good, but there were some players who would come in, they would beat me at my own game on my own stream, and I really enjoyed those matches. And those players that I remember losing to were not players crutching heavily on specials or abilities. They were simply better at landing accurate shots with their primary weapons than I was, and that's how they secured their spot on the totem pole higher up than me. I played against several players who were in sweat tournaments. These competitors, they were very, very well rehearsed in the art of confidently dueling other players with primaries. So why do I bring all of this up? Well, that's a good question. In this video, I'm showing off some gameplay of a stream I did yesterday where I committed to using the Ace of Spades almost exclusively from start to finish. And during that time, I racked up about 450 final blows with the Ace of Spades. I did it because I never want to go an extended period of time where I learn to lean too heavily on other parts of my game. I really love using various special weapons. I really love using certain ability-focused builds. I think Destiny allows for a lot of that creativity. It's part of what makes the game so enjoyable to me. But I felt like I really needed to buckle down and work on my primary shots again. And one of these matches, the one on Burnout early in the video, included an almost 40 kill streak with the Ace of Spades. So only one fusion rifle kill during that entire streak. One of the most viewed videos, in fact, that I've ever posted on my channel is a video titled How to Improve Your Hand Cannon Shot in Destiny 2. And if you want some tips to help you get up to speed with these weapons, feel free to check that video out. All this to say, I can't encourage you enough. If you want to up your game and get better at Destiny, you're going to need to spend some time really focusing on your primary gun skill. Now, this doesn't have to be hand cannons specifically. It could be auto rifles, pulse rifles, scout rifles, whatever. It doesn't really matter. But I would argue, in my opinion, that hand cannons and pulse rifles, hand cannon and pulse rifle skill matters more than auto and scout. Because these weapons will teach you about pacing, patience, recoil control, and the power of peak shotting. I know pulses get memed on a lot as they call them dad weapons or laning Larry weapons, but frankly, those criticisms have little to no merit whatsoever. I mean, some of the most competitive games of all time are defined by burst rifle accuracy and recoil management. Anyone complaining about a pulse rifle simply hasn't been alive long enough to learn how to respect them. I would advise you, if you want to get better at this game, set aside some time to really practice with a primary of your choice. And don't switch off of it too quickly. You know, give it an hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, depending on your gaming schedule. Or maybe use it for an hour. Maybe you don't have a ton of gaming time. You got maybe an hour a day. Well, do it for like 3 or 4 days in a row where you're like, all right, this week I'm really just focusing on upping my primary gun skill. I'm going to pick a gun and stay committed to it. So allow yourself to get familiar with it, everything about it, right? Its ready speeds, its rate of fire, its effective range, its weaknesses, its strengths, its perk combination, its recoil direction, and severity of that recoil. Being aware of all of these things and managing them well, it comes with time. So it's like breaking in a new pair of shoes, you know? It's gonna be a pain to wear them for a while. It's gonna be kind of uncomfortable. But once you break those things in, it'll be comfortable, familiar, right? And the same thing applies to your weapons. Allow yourself enough time to break it in, get used to it, and let it get to the point of familiarity. Then, you're gonna unlock a whole new level of proficiency with it. That 40 kill streak with Ace that I started with, that started this video with, that was my second to last match of the day after 5 hours of gaming with it. A little over 5 hours of gaming with it. I hadn't used the gun in a long while until yesterday morning, but after staying committed to it for a long time, I got to the point where shooting it felt like second nature. It felt as natural as walking or breathing. And today I did the same thing. I just picked a different weapon. So yesterday I focused on the Ace of Spades and the hand cannon shot. This time today I focused on the No Time to Explain. I was like, listen, because No Time is like, I think this is the kind of pulse rifle that really has that risk and reward. There's not a lot of forgiveness. Okay, so with the adaptive pulse rifles, it's a 3 burst basically every time, you know. And you can have any combination, a number of different combinations of headshots and body shots during that 3 burst volley. But with pulse rifles like No Time to Explain, if you hit all headshots, you get a 2 burst. If you hit everything straight to the head, you're gonna 2 burst. So it's a gun that's more punishing because it shoots slowly. So if you miss the 2 burst, you got to make up for it by taking another burst. But that could be lethal, missing a headshot in there, because it means you have to go in for another volley. So I liked focusing on the No Time to Explain. I racked up about 400 kills on it today in one sitting. And same thing with the Ace. By the end of it, it just felt so smooth, so familiar, and I was really feeling in the groove with it. So I'll just say, do me a favor. At some point this week, sit down and focus on your primary gunplay. And I want you to do something for me. I want you to take a screenshot on like Destiny Tracker or whatever site you like to use of your best game with that primary, and show me your primary kill count on that match, right? It'll show you, okay, No Time to Explain, here's how many final blows you had with it. Ace of Spades, here's how many final blows. Maybe you pick Bad Juju, maybe you pick the Palindrome or the Thorn or the Ace, I don't care what it is, whatever primary weapon you really love to use. Tag me in that screenshot on Twitter. Let me see you flex your personal growth. I want to see that personal growth. My Twitter handle is The True Vanguard. I want to see you dropping bombs out there in the Crucible with your favorite primaries. I want to see it. That would really make my week. So please tag me in those screenshots. If you do it, I'll try to make sure that I get around to responding to you and dropping a like on your tweet, all that business. But hey, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Thanks for supporting my channel. If you liked the video, please consider leaving a like on it, but only if you think that I earned it. Subscribe to the channel for more tips, tactics, reviews, and builds. Be warm and well fed, my friends, and I hope to catch you in the Crucible.